It's a great pleasure for me to be invited for this short opening address to the Euro debate about the future of the Euro. We all admit that the Euro had its good times and its bad times, and we're living through the latter period now. But even during the good times, when it was the sunny side part of the Euro, when it was quite enjoying a lot of successes, I was always a bit uncomfortable talking about the Euro as it was like the perfect instrument and with all its strength prepared for any eventuality. I always felt uncomfortable. Similarly, however, today, this pessimism about the Euro, because the question of Greece and the question and so on, I am not that pessimistic either. We all remember from the very beginning that the Nobel Prize winner and Canadian Robert Mundell thought of this common currency area as an economic principle. And he set up a number of criteria which need to be fulfilled in order for a common currency, for a single currency to be successful. And we all know, especially the American economists used to do that and criticize very strongly that these economic criteria were not all fulfilled, and they are not fulfilled to this very day. And that's why the Euro is flawed. However, the whole principle is not just economic, it's political. And some of the strongest, richest, most advanced countries in the world have come together. They are determined together that they want to see a strong union. And a strong union can come about through a strong monetary union and a single currency. Not all the countries have joined this Eurozone, but those who did are very determined to see it through. So whatever storms, whatever, how many times it will be buffeted by these winds, behind there is a political resolution to see the Euro through. So one cannot obviously discount that important core principle behind the Euro. Now, of course, there are improvements to be done and developments to be seen. Now, most of you would probably say, well, you can't have it because Mundell said there must be a fiscal union. I'm very reluctant to go that route. I think it's a chimera. To expect countries to give up their sovereignty on tax matters, it could come gradually, but it will take a decade or two. Because I think that there are other areas where the flaws of the Euro came about because they were missing. I, for one, voted against most of the files related to the two-pack and six-pack. And what were these? These what now are referred to as austerity programs. But they were meant to push errant countries like Greece, Spain, Portugal, all of them, including Malta, to correct their deficits, reduce their debts, and consolidate. But in economic terms, they were pushing these countries for an internal devaluation. Cut costs, cut pensions, cut wages, consolidate, consolidate. But as we all know, that in the absence of an exchange rate, a flexible exchange rate, which we don't because of the whole principle of a single currency is that there should also be currencies who devalue and currencies which also revalue. So internal devaluations within the Eurozone must be compensated by internal revaluations. Strong economies, and we don't need to mention them, having large surpluses would have had their currency revaluing in the absence of a Eurozone. Now that they are in the Eurozone, it is their responsibility also to revalue by increasing demand, increasing wages, in order for the other countries who have got big deficits so that they will have the value to export and therefore compensate. That is missing in the Euro architecture, and we hope that that will come up in the future when we start monitoring the progress to date. I don't think that I could go into all the other points, which I do hope that during this morning you would be able to debate. You've got good people there, and I'm sure that you're going to have a very good debate, which I'm afraid I cannot be present at. But to conclude, I think the euro is here to stay, and we therefore need just to evaluate the outcomes and be very frank about what are the objectives, the priorities for it to become stronger. I wish all of you a success in this euro debate.